There you go.
Congrats on the second win of the season. It's Jyah Abdeen for Devils in Detail. What have you seen from the second game compared to the first game when it comes to the pacing and taking care of the ball?
Yeah, we want big margins every quarter. So my goal is single-digit quarters, and that's hard to do. And we got 2 of them. We held them to 9 points in the first and 8 points in the third. We were more consistent offensively each quarter, so that consistency is good to see. So we're going to shoot a lot of free throws in the coming practices because we left some points on the board there.
Molly, Blake Niemann, Postgame. What was it like to see Gabby have a performance? She was getting a little emotional. We were just talking about
No.
the journey it's taken to get here, and her getting her 1,000th point. She said, not a lot of people get to do that, and she's just really appreciative of this opportunity.
I think one of the crazy things about sports is the uncertainty in it, because at any given moment it could be taken away from you. And Gabby's experienced that a couple of times with some injuries. So for her to be healthy and feeling good and get 1,000 points around a team that really loves her and coaches that really care about her, I know that was big for her. And I'm proud of her because that's a lot of resilience and perseverance in that kid. And so to see that game 2, I can't wait for her to play out the rest of the year. But that 1,000 point mark, that club's elite. And so now she's one of the elite.
And how critical was her performance needed, especially down college?
Yeah, we use Gabby in a variety of ways. She is a multi-tool for us. So we try to figure out where we can put her and she can best serve the team. But she's willing and able to do anything too. That's what's great about her. And she puts in the effort every day, before practice, after practice. She's in. Annalisa and her are best friends because we're keeping her healthy. And she just puts in the work on and off the court, and you can see that on the court.
Coach Bill McCullough, 602 Sports Talk. In your opinion, what's the biggest difference between Monday night and this afternoon?
We're a little bit more settled, I would say. But also, we focused on some things on practice, and we always want that carryover in order for us to take the steps necessary. We're so far from where we're going to be and where we're going. We have a lot of work to do. But what was great in this moment, too, is, when you have a fallen soldier, one went out, POA, you've got a freshman stepping up and scoring double digits in her first collegiate start. So the worst thing that can happen, I tell these kids, is not that your number's not called immediately or when you think it should be called. It's when it is called, you're not ready. And so kudos to Jyah and Amaya for being ready in Poe's absence.
Coach Harrison Fuller, Walter Cronkite Sports Network. With most of the team being new to ASU, what does it mean to have players who have been around college basketball a while, like Gabby, Jyah, and Molly?
Yeah, experience was something we wanted to hit hard on in this recruiting class in the portal. Just proven college players that could come in, fit the system, understand what hard work looks like at this level. So that was a major, when our staff got our heads together, it's like we need experience in the portal year 1, and they've really kicked us off on the right start.
When you recruited Amaya for TCU, what were you expecting that she would be able to come in and play like right away as a freshman, or what?
When you
how
recruit,
is she playing compared to what you thought?
Yeah, when you recruit kids from really good high school programs, I think there's hope there. In modern day, they're very well coached. They're a great program out of California. So to make that transition from high school to college is tough, but when you're playing for a program like that, it's a little bit more seamless and easier. And I think she benefited from being at a program like that because, it's tough, and they practice like college practices. And I've watched them practice. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, she could come in and make a difference right away, especially with how our roster makeup formed. We don't have a lot of point guard options outside of Poa that's played a lot. Jyah's been kind of a combo, so she does have a chance.
Blake, Andrew in front of Intel. Your team ran man defense most of the game. Is there a chance we can see a mix between zone and man, or are you liking what you're seeing so far with the man?
I'm always convicted to high pressure man-to-man defense. Now, we always have something in our back pocket as a switch up, and I'm like, all right, we're going to practice it, and then we end up not using it during the game. But, sometime that might, whether it's a zone press or a matchup zone, an aggressive zone, we're never just going to sit back and let the defense get comfortable. So whether it's man or zone, the pressure is going to be an underlying factor for our defense.
Hi, Coach Ferrer, Ray Sports. Your squad's fourth quarter performance on Monday was the driving factor in that win, and today was the third quarter performance. What about this team makes them so good when they come out of the locker room after halftime?
I think we're settled, and they're very good at coachability. So when we're making adjustments, they understand. I get nods and eye contact in the locker room. So I'm like, okay, I trust them to go out there and execute some minor adjustments that we're making. We feed off our crowd, our band, our spirit programs are awesome. Shout out to them. They make the environment really fun to play in. I think those girls want to go play hard and rally the troops, and they do a good job coming out of the locker room. The quick start would be nice. I think we did a lot better job today, obviously, but the defense is where we need to start. When we held them to 9 points, then our offense has a little bit of room for error when your defense is so good. But again, I'm proud of them for just figuring each other out one day at a time, and they're hanging in there.
Back to me. You gave Martina Fantini, a fellow freshman, some minutes today. What have you learned from her, and what does she need to work on going forward?
Yeah, she's not quite comfortable out there yet, and but these are so valuable minutes to get comfortable. And I've seen some things that you all haven't seen yet in practice that she does, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a freshman doing those things. It's a lot. I talked about this in my last presser. She's coming from Italy, her first time. She got here a little late, so we're getting her used to what it's like to play at this level, and she's going to be good for us.
Hi, Coach. I'm Lucas with Princeton Sports. So today it was a 2 p.m. game on a Saturday. First game was a 6:30 p.m. game on a Monday. Of course, this is nothing new to you guys. But next week, you guys are going to be going on the road. Just what's the preparation there, especially going on the road for the first time with ASU?
Yeah, that's a great question because every routine kind of changes. So today we had a 9 a.m. shoot around. So the girls had to get up a little earlier and do shoot around. Now we're going to go on the road and we're going to have an early shoot around or a late shoot around or film in the hotel rooms, not sleep in our own beds. So just getting a new routine. Going up to NAU was helpful so we could practice kind of a road routine and what that looked like in terms of shoot around, meals, study hall. You have to do all the things that you would do here because there's still students on the road. So that'll be our first crack at it, but shout out to all our ops and staff. We've got an itinerary that's about as detailed as they come.
Molly, how's it going to this after players from last year to stick around and have the presence? And honestly,
Yeah, I'm really proud of her. I have challenged her in a way that I don't think she's ever been challenged before, but she's let me do that. And sometimes when there's been hesitancy, I just have to talk her through it. She trusts me, I trust her, and we're going to see a lot more of this Jyah, I think, as she gets to the system. She can play on both sides of the ball. That's why I love her. Like, she's a defender, and I love kind of that dog defensive mentality. But then we saw today she can get downhill and really be explosive to the rim.
Coach, you guys forced 19 turnovers and scored 22 points off those turnovers. How does it feel to be able to rely on the defense to kind of propel the offense in the scoring point?
That's something we worked on because we forced 33 turnovers, and I think we had 20-something points off turnovers last game. So we wanted to score more off our turnovers. So that was a noticeable difference for me. When we forced a turnover, we wanted to strike right away. We wanted to get to the paint, spray it out for them there, or get to the rim. So you have to, if you're going to work that hard to get a team to turn it over, you want to be able to convert. So we work on conversion a lot in practice, and I think today was better in that area.
Coach Michael Carson, Pitchfork wants to piggyback off that defensively. I know you said you stressed it a lot in practice, like since you got here, this team's going to play defense.
Yep.
But I mean, from game 1 to game 2, I know you said in game 1 there were like a few things, even though there caused a lot of turnovers defensively that were there. How do you feel that their communication, at least in today's game, was it better? How did it grow?
Yeah, what we did a better job of on this game, we switched up our screen coverage a little bit to try to keep them off balance. And they were really mindful, tuning me into that, what screen coverage we were in. So trying to just make sure that we're listening on the fly too, because our defense can be so chaotic and we're mixing things up, and how we look and feel on the defensive end can change every possession. So they've been really good at figuring that out, and that's going to take some time too to even perfect, but that's one area that I was proud of.
Do you have any more update on Poa at all? And then also Grice got in and did a few things for you, so are you feeling a little more comfortable that maybe you can accelerate her a little bit and take advantage of having a 6'5" player?
Yeah, I mean, for her, it's learning the system, and it's a new system, so there's going to be a learning curve there. But the more confident and comfortable she gets with our sets and our plays and how we play on both sides of the ball, I think you said it. She's a 6'5", back to the basket, post presence. Like, if we can have that sort of presence on the block, she had a nice move there. Then, to me, she was ready for opportunity. And now next game, I can look at her and say, go do that same thing that she just did last game. So she's gonna bloom and blossom. You know, she's really only a redshirt freshman, so we got to keep that in mind too. So I'm excited for her to get better every day. Poa, you know, she saw the doctor probably while we were at halftime, so I'm anxious to get a report. Right now, what it looks like on a return kind of depends on these next couple days and what the doctors are seeing and saying. She went out obviously with a hand injury last game, so I'm anxious to get the report. But you know, we've got a great medical team. Shout out to them, and they're just going to do the best they can to get her back healthy and in a safe manner.
Everybody good? Okay.
So Gabby and Jyah both use the term defensive or strategic defense. I was curious just how you're using that term and how it's kind of conveying onto the board.
Well, it is organized. Some people like, is it risky to go trap that much or to run and jump or rotate? There's methods to the madness. So there is a structure to it, and we want the other team to feel like it's chaotic, but we know exactly when we're going, where we're going, how we're going. So the when, where, what, how, we know, but it gets teams sped up. So it's just practice too. When do I go? How do I trap? Technique is a big part of that, but they're buying into that. So it is structured and organized, but it's still chaotic.
Coach, you did lay off the three-quarter court press this game as opposed to Monday night. What was the biggest reason?
Some of it was foul trouble. You know, Marley got some, and then we wanted to protect Gabby a little bit. And when you get in foul trouble, I think you've got to be smart, aggressive. So part of that was just, all right, now let's make them beat us in the half. So we can turn it on, turn it off. We can go 94 feet. We can go half court. But the pressure and intensity, but the aggressiveness in our mentality has to be the same. But, you know, you'll hear me say Mickey sometimes. That's basically throw your hands. Okay, so still slide your feet, but throw your hands. Get it, Mickey Mouse? So everyone see that there? So, you know, if we're in the half and we're playing aggressive, I still want them to Mickey. So we're not, you know, we get to determine who we play on the court at what time. We're not just bound by foul trouble and having people sit the bench. So that's one reason too. We can pull it back but still be aggressive. And Mickey.
Last call. Good. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everyone.
Honestly, it feels great. It's been a long time coming. If you know any of my background, I've been around a couple schools, couple injuries, and you know, I really just feel like getting that really just beat the odds, make sure I got the game ball. We got a dub. I'm feeling real good, not gonna lie. Not a lot of people make it to 1,000, especially with my story. So all glory to God, and shout out to my teammates today for sure.
For me, I think it's just taking pride in being a Sun Devil and trying to teach all the newcomers, you know, what it is to be a Sun Devil here, and just following the footsteps of where Coach Molly wants his program to go, and just being on board with her and supporting her in every way I can.
Christian John Mark Paul, the Rockets. Kind of noticed the defense out there for you guys today. I appreciate the defense. Both at least the team. You guys dropped out of
It's a big part of what Molly is preaching. A lot of our offense is going to come from defense, and that's really much what she preached about. Don't get me wrong, she cares about offense and all that, but it's going to start with defense for her, and we are really starting to pick up on that, and it's carrying us right now in a good way. But that's the team we want to be, to focus on defense and to get the easy baskets.
For sure, I think that we also just take pride in defense, and that's what we want to be known for. I think that we have a lot of good scorers on the team, and scoring will never be the question or, you know, the hard thing with us. I think that just sustaining our pressure the whole game and causing chaos for the other team, for sure.
As a player watching on the Sports Network, you guys had a great third quarter. You know, what was the speech at halftime? What did Molly tell you in the locker room to kind of propel you out of the third quarter?
Play hard. That was literally it. Play hard. And make layups and free throws, of course, but play hard. That was really her main message to us, and I feel like it spoke to us because we play hard.
I agree with what she says, honestly. Play harder and, you know, just wanted more than them. I feel like the first half they did come out a little bit harder than us, and they acted like, or they showed that they wanted it more than us, but I think, you know, we had a little half and we got to settle in, and we came back and we knew what we had to do and make those changes.
What have you both learned from Molly Miller doing 2 games
I think the biggest thing for me that I've learned is as long as the energy and effort is there, she doesn't care about a missed shot or something like that, something small like that, as long as the energy and effort is there. And also, again, it starts with defense. I feel like that is her main focus right now, and it's going to be throughout the season. If you're not giving energy on defense, or if you're looking tired on defense, offense got to be out the question. So I think that's definitely what I've learned from her and starting to pick up on.
I agree with what Gabby said too. Anything you're gonna do, just go hard. If you make a mistake, as long as if you're going hard, she won't be mad at you. And I think also just being a good teammate, I feel like that goes a really long way, and just being here for each other and celebrating each other for sure.
Gabby, back here, Blake Niemann, Fox 10 News. You were talking about your journey, just getting here, a couple of schools.
Yeah.
How much greater appreciation do you have in being at this spot right now here at ASU and just feeling valued?
It feels amazing. Coming off an injury, you don't really know what's going to happen, let alone two. So, I mean, you got me about to cry. Hold up. Getting emotional. But no, for real. It just means a lot. I came a long ways, and I know that all the people that have been around me, even like DB, he saw me at Clemson, Penn State, to here. It's been amazing. It's been a journey for sure, and I am not taking it for granted at all. I am trying to bring something to Tempe and leave you guys with something better than what I came with for sure. I'm ready.
What did Coach Miller see in you, and what did you see in Coach Miller?
Coach Miller really just saw my potential. I feel like, don't get me wrong, DB helped because I was coming with him, but she had to put some faith in me too, for sure. She didn't really know what she was gonna get, but also just, yeah, she had faith, and I had faith in her too. She never lied to me throughout the process. She always preached defense and what type of program that she was gonna have, and I was ready to back her up. We went and got some good pieces to do it, and now we're here, so I'm very happy. Yeah, it was definitely discussed. Like, I really hope y'all don't think I'm playing. She literally came in there and said, play harder. And it really just got through to us. It was not really too much of talking, but literally play harder. And we went out there and we played harder, and you saw the effect. So, yeah.
You prefer the up-tempo style more than the controlled offense?
Honestly, with our team, it doesn't matter. We execute really well in the half court, but if we can score off our turnovers, let's do that too. And I think that's the best part about us, that we can actually execute in the half court, but also in transition we can get buckets too. So whichever, honestly. Honestly, I would say I just show up. I don't know.
I think just showing up and coming in with the right attitude and mindset and ready to lock in and focus in on those little details. Because, I mean, some practices are not going to be as hard, and that's when we just have to lock in and pay attention to those little details. And I think that we all do a good job as a team. For sure.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how we travel. Like you said, it's going to be our first time, but it's none of our first time, like traveling to play a game. So, I mean, we're going to go out there and handle business.
Right, business trip.
Right, business trip, do what we got to do, but it's definitely going to see like certain stuff that she like to do. Like, I've been on teams that like to do walks before games and stuff like that. So that's more what I'm excited for, to like see how the flow of things is going to go when we're not at DFA.
Very good.
So you right here, he's been trying to ask for a minute. I'm not going to lie.
We got time.
Okay.
You guys had a great defensive game last game and another great defensive game today. Did anything change strategically against Coppin State? And what's the strategic defense the same as that?
Strategic defense is actually the same, and that's one of the things I appreciate about Molly. When we're game prepping, we're prepping for us and not for them. So our defensive principles are going to be the same throughout the whole season. It's not about the other team or the other opponent. No, our defensive principles are going to be that, and we're going to try to execute them every night. And I think, honestly, easiest part of the defense that I've ever been a part of.
Yes. And for sure, just coming out with a pep in our step,
For sure.
And just the high intensity, have them on their heels first and punch them first.
it's definitely different to have a vet go down like that. An important piece, starter to what we got going on here. But just like any other team or program, is next man up. So shout out to Amaya. She had her first career start, career high in points. She stepped up today and did what she's supposed to do as a freshman, and that's how it's supposed to be. Unfortunately, we don't ever want anything like that to happen, a player to be out, but as teammates, we got to support them and being able to step up for them, and I think we did that today for sure.
What have you seen from Akina Dawkins today? She was probably on a triple-double watch. She had like 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists.
I'm very proud of her. She was just doing all the little dirty work she was in every play, hand on the ball, just, keeping the ball in bounds, keeping the play alive, and just doing what we need her to do.
Very good. Thanks.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we're back.